Welcome to the world where space and time merge to bring you into our quadrant of space. We just hope you don't go to pieces in it. Welcome to the Captains Quadrant. I'm your host, Captain of the ship, Joe Dove. So glad to be here with my friends, VHS Jace, Jason Roy Gaston, and Captain Nita. So glad to have you guys. And just so you know, our good buddy Jason Roy Gaston, he is on a special away mission. So he's currently hiding from the butt bugs. In an
They're everywhere.
Location. Yes. In an undisclosed
Don't tell them where I am.
location. Yes, we won't.
They're mad because my prediction was wrong.
All right. So
this could have been the big comeback, but now they're all mad. They're like, "We'll get you in the end," and I don't like the way that sounds.
We'll get you in the end. Oh boy. All right, and then let me just ask you, VHS, you're tired of seeing the red door? You've been seeing
that? We'll talk about that when we're going, but I'm more distracted about something else, to be honest with you, Joe.
Oh, what's that? What's that?
It's your dog again.
Again?
It's Teddy again.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I thought he said some pretty horrible, borderline racist things, and then he said something about the Jews. I remember that. Really offensive terrible. Last week. And I thought that was it. But there's a TikTok the other day, and I don't have it on me, but there's a TikTok with him putting on an Australian voice, mocking my intelligence. And I'm like, okay, I can take enough of this. This is enough. But, I'm not here to get retribution, but I am here to make you aware of what your dog's really up to. Because I think you don't really understand how evil Teddy, and let's have another look at Teddy. This is the dog that's been harassing me, people.
Yeah, very cute.
Very upsetting.
Super cute.
His Twitter account, man, he's a busy boy on there. All right, let's have a look at what he's been putting up during the week.
All right, so excited to be joining the team of Fox.
As a proud NAR member and a patriot dog, I will give my unbiased thoughts on those Antifa-loving radical left hippies. Hashtag time for truth and honesty.
Wow,
that's horrible. I did not
what's going on there.
Like
oh man!
How about, and then there's this one.
The only thing Trump should be indicted for is being awesome.
Make America great again. Oh my God. Yeah.
I have to have a talk with that dog.
And I thought they were jokes.
Cancelled.
I thought they were jokes when he said he was joining Fox News, but little did we know he actually was on Fox News this week. As you can see, he was with Matthew McConaughey talking about gun responsibility.
All right. What do you think, Doug?
And I didn't get to hear much of it, so I didn't know which side of fence he sat on. But later that night, he did appear on Tucker Carlson, and it's pretty clear what his political agenda is at this point. And Teddy believes more guns is the solution. So, look, I'm not here to hate, but I think your dog's a Republican.
Yeah, sounds like very
mainly to have
strange.
a conversation.
Yeah.
I can just hear the comments now. What did you have to bring politics into?
I didn't. Teddy made that choice. I'm Australian. What do I care about US politics? It's your dog who's decided to draw a line in the sand here.
Yeah.
I'd be checking your cupboard for guns. That's what I'd do.
Oh, no.
And Adderall. Look out for the Adderall.
Look out for the Adderall. It's always
because he'll blame it all on the Adderall if you give him a chance.
Toy chest might be filled with guns, dude.
Yeah.
I will double check it.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful, Teddy, now, maybe you can have a conversation with him, rehabilitate him, and stop him from oversharing, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important
maybe
thing.
you, Jace, maybe you and Teddy need a little mediation. Get together.
Well, look, I know Teddy is struggling with his mental health. I mean, look at this tweet.
My own don't know that, dude.
Don't know him, and they think. It's those noises, those horrible noises.
Every single day.
Well,
I wish, Teddy.
Okay, I'm done now. We can actually get on with the show. So,
all right. So let us jump into the synopsis.
Yes, let's just talk Star Trek at least.
Welcome to the Star Trek show. So Vedic forces Picard to make an impossible choice: deliver what he can never give, or watch his crew perish. Their only salvation lies in the mind of an old friend and old foe. Oh, that's a really good synopsis.
Yeah, that really is.
Yeah, they really nailed it. All right, let's hop into First Contact.
Ooh, First Contact. You think I'd be organized? Anyway.
Thanks.
Ooh,
Can we comment on the fact that's more footage about First Contact that we actually got during the week?
Yeah, that is more First Contact information than Paramount released this week. That's for sure. I'm going to start out with our hiding from the butt bugs, buddy. What is your First Contact?
I thought it was really good. Mm-hmm. I was glad to see the loose ends tied up while leaving the open ends open. Again, the cliffhanger annoyed me, but seeing the old gang back together in the meeting room with Data among them, I was over myself. It was like the warmest blanket of love and cotton candy and kittens purring and just making me just feel good all over. That one scene right there, to me, is the topper for the whole season, is just having the gang back together again.
Totally agree. Nita.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I keep saying it. This season of Star Trek Picard, they have hit it out of the park every episode for me. And that may not be, anyone else's opinion, and that's fine. But for me, I think every episode has met their purpose. And this was an incredible episode. Just incredible. And it made me, I had a lot of questions. It was so good that it answered questions, but it made me think of so many more. And I think that a good episode always makes you question, makes you think, makes you really concentrate on what's happening. And I felt that was what was going on here. I thought it was fantastic. I can't complain.
Yeah. Yes. All right, Jace, VHS Jace.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting episode because it's a darkest hour episode. We're at the worst possible situation our main characters are in, and I tend to really love those moments in films and certainly those episodes. So I'm a big fan as well. I also feel like it's a closure of a storyline, isn't it? Like, I went back and I thought about this whole series, and I feel like in some way the first 4 episodes it's its own story, and now we've had another 4. So I feel like we've tied up a big chunk of it and we're now moving on. It is an episode that raises a lot of questions, though, about what's coming up. But overall, it was tense from the start. It was enjoyable from the start. And even moments which, not handled correctly, would have been ultimately really cheesy, came off really well because of the expertise of the performance. And I'm basically talking about Mrs. Plummer herself, who I thought was great. She's literally a Khan villain in a way, but like that type of villain.
Yeah,
but
over the top,
But great. That whole scene on the bridge, that tense when, the 10-minute, scenario where they've got 10 minutes and yeah, wonderful. Very good. But probably one of the more, how many people die in this episode, people?
Yeah.
Really dark episode.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yeah. So, by the way, folks, if you haven't seen the episode, we're going to be talking about all the stuff that happens.
If you're watching this in episode 8 and you haven't figured out that we spoil the crap out of all this, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. But please, while you're here, please like, share, and subscribe. We should really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed,
you can watch us share more crap.
Yeah, we do a lot of fun stuff.
Yes, this is not the Teddy and Jay show.
Yeah.
No, it isn't just but man, I wanted to let that thing die. It's the dog who keeps raising the stakes.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
Chomping at the bit, right?
Yeah.
For me, I thought this was, like you said, like you guys have all said, it was a nice way to put a bow tie on the whole present that is the 3rd season of Picard. The one thing I do want to mention is I took a moment to take a gander on Rotten Tomatoes, right, Jace?
Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes.
So I went over to Rotten.
You say tomatoes, he says tomatoes, I say tomatoes.
Yes. There you go. What do they say in Puerto Rico? What's Puerto Rico?
Tomates.
There you go.
Look at that. All right.
I love it.
I love this world.
See, we completely missed the mark by not calling this podcast tomatoes, 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 tomates.
Yeah, we did. We really did.
That's the new podcast we're coming out.
Yeah, that's the next one this summer.
Rotten tomatoes.
Rotten tomatoes. But one thing I wanted to bring up was that this is the highest rated Star Trek show for Picard ever. It's
that's great.
75% fresh.
That's excellent. That's good.
Yeah.
And 75% fresh. You know, this is what you get when you have such like this type of science fiction fandoms. Never make everyone happy, can you?
No.
You just can't.
Oh, and I thought it was a great episode. They was a bit surprised at one thing, but we'll get into that later. So let us hop into the comments. Nita,
yes, we have quite a bit of wonderful, beautiful people here tonight. Cosmic Mom, of course, she says hello.
Hi, Ma.
Yeah, and a new person here, Leticia, and she says hello, young man.
Hello.
She's talking about me.
I was gonna say,
really? No, she's talking about me.
And Sarah, well, she's got her snacky
Oh,
snacks,
yes, Sarah.
got her drink.
Excellent.
You're not the only one, clearly,
Yeah,
Sarah.
apparently we hear that little munching in the back.
And Devin just
Hey, Devin.
Hey, Devin. Welcome, buddy.
You gotta have your snacky snacks. That's right.
That's right. And our favorite, one of our favorite, Geek Filter.
Tomato.
Bravo.
Yes.
Tomato in Klingon means death vegetable.
Death vegetable. Exactly. If it's not alive, why eat it? But we've got a comment here from Sarah, which is lovely. The family's back together.
We are. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
No, I think they meant the TNG family.
Oh, no, I thought we were talking about us because it was like, there's been a lot of controversy. We're lucky we even kind of got this show together.
Now, there is a comment here that I'm not sure if it was a repeated comment, as in, oh, this was funny, or perhaps a revelation. Cosmic Mom, what are you saying here?
Hey, man, you got to talk to your dog. Teddy's the one who's got some controversial opinions, not me.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, let us hop into pros and cons.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
I repeat it every time, just so you know.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start off with you, VHS Jace.
Oh, great. No worries. Let's get into the bad.
Okay.
All right, let's get into the bad straight away. I'm a bit concerned and a little bit frustrated that we are again, and it comes down to the cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. And I think, do we really need to be dragging What's Behind the Red Door into episode 9 now? Mm-hmm. And then in episode 10, when we have such big mysteries that need to be solved, like what's happening First Contact Day and all that other business around there. That's probably my greatest con was it. It was just like, this felt very much a repeat of last week. So we've had two really the darkest hour episodes. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you're really going to have to drag yourself out of it. However, the show itself, I was locked in.
Yeah.
I was locked in the moment in. I thought Vatic, the whole scenario, how that was handled, including her, I'm not going to say spoiler alert, her death, was great. It was nothing original. Seen it all before, but like I said before, handled expertly. I've really turned around on Jack. I really, really like that character now. I've really kind of appreciate who he is. And I was a bit frustrated with Picard and Beverly Crusher. You know, I know they were right, but I was frustrated with them because really the answer was him going up to the bridge.
From the get.
So I was not frustrated at their choice. I was frustrated it took 3 scenes before they explained why you shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And but overall, it's a cracking episode. I will stand by this. I actually think it's the greatest single season of the modern Star Trek era so far.
Ooh, wow, that is a bold statement.
8 episodes in the way. Yeah.
Right there with you.
Yeah, I agree.
8 episodes in a row that even in their weakest, and I'm kind of stealing Jason's line here, is still really, really good.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't think of any, including Strange New Worlds.
I was just going to say that, man. Yeah.
And that was great, but I think this is better. But yeah, that was it. That's all I got.
Mr. Gaston, if you would,
you just saw me put a Cheez-It in my mouth.
Yeah,
that's why I went to you.
I thought you were going to go with Cheez-It first.
I can't eat those anymore.
Okay. Pros, as I said, seeing the gang back together was just. I grew up watching this crew and seeing them all back together after 21 years, 22 years, hit me harder than what I thought it would. Even though I had seen the previews of them sitting at that table together, watching Brent Spiner come in as Data and everyone be so happy to see him, something I never thought I would see again. Yeah. And it just felt so good seeing it. It was cathartic. It was almost like therapy. It was
felt right,
beautiful.
Didn't it? Yeah.
It did. It felt like all the wrongs in the world have been put right for those 2 or 3 minutes that scene lasted. And I just loved it so much. Deanna and Raffi, you're scary. I loved that.
Yeah.
And even a little reignition of the Worf Troy romance.
Oh yeah.
I am one of the 2 people in the world. I am one of the 2 people in the world who actually thought that Worf and Deanna was a good couple.
I did too.
And so seeing that, I was just like, I miss those 2 together. I thought that was great. And plus seeing Will a little bit, jealous was great.
Yeah. I'm here too.
I don't know. I just enjoyed all the Will and Deanna scenes. Having them both admit that they hate living on the Pente, I thought was hilarious. Our cabin looks like it was put together by hipsters. They still have hipsters in the 25th century.
How about that? They survived.
The intensity in this episode was great, and I have to admit, I laughed at Baddock's last line when I realized that was her last line on the show. I thought, how appropriate. And how great for the Changelings, really, because the Changelings, even though they were such a great threat on Deep Space Nine, they always seemed so generic and boring as individuals.
Yeah.
Baddock was something else. She was petty, she was mean, she was funny. And that last line, just... I'm going to miss her so much.
Sorry, Jace. What
just
was that
like her,
last line?
I can't say.
Oh.
I can't say.
It. Does anyone else know
it?
Go ahead, y'all say it.
Something, right?
It was
effing solids.
Oh, yes.
Solids.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people have issues with the F word in this season of Picard. That's got to be my favorite swear in Star Trek, right next to Data's exclamation when the saucer was about to crash into the planet. Those are the 2 best swears in Star Trek history. I'm going to stop there because I'm just going to endlessly gush. My con is, again, and I'm going to echo what Jay said, I'm getting tired of the mystery of...
We're hearing from the sounds of Brooklyn, New York.
Nina?
So
what did you do?
You'll be back
later. Are you
later,
at the Gaza Strip, or where are you?
I thought that was Battle Cat at first.
He found me.
The butt bug found me. Oh, that's what I
muted, just so you know.
Okay, so I'm going to echo what Jay said. The mystery box element of the show is getting tiresome. At any point, Baddock could have told Jack what he was. Yeah. Literally at any point. It's time to find out who you are. Meanwhile, we're an episode after that, and we still haven't found out who he is.
Yep.
I think my theory is correct, and I think I know why now, and you'll just have to wait until later in the podcast to find out if you want to be spoiled on what's coming.
All right. So is this?
And no, it's not the butt bugs.
It's the mystery box of Jason's theory.
Exactly.
Right, but at least this mystery box will get answered.
Yeah, it's in one episode.
You're going to find out exactly what the mystery box is. Cut to black.
All right, Nita, have the sounds of Brooklyn subsided? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, go for your.
I'm so sorry, guys. But as you know, I don't live far from a precinct and from a fire station. So they come by and the windows are open. It is humid in New York City. So sorry, guys. But this episode has, I'm going to start with what I like. I love the moment when everyone was just rushed over to Data. Troy gave him a hug. Everyone just... the love in that room was genuine. It was so not acted. It felt like a welcome home. Oh, you've been missing for this long, and now we found you. And it just felt beautiful. The moment that I actually like when Worf saves Deanna and Riker. I like the interaction with Riker and Troy and Worf, because he's like inappropriate because he's standing right there and he's like, reciting sonnets or something to her.
Yeah. Great.
Like, even I was like, a man is right there. What's he doing?
Well, even Worf knows he's a daddy by this point.
And I thought it was really, really well done. I think that Jack asking them to trust him, trust me, I can do this, but he is insisting. He is not a changeling. He's never changed into anything. I don't know if Jack is correct about that. I think I'm annoyed at that red door. I thought it was going to be opened. And it was not. I don't understand why they didn't at least open it and have them standing in this room where the information is. Give me something. It's torturous. Okay. But I think overall it was a very good episode. I do question, though, and I'm just going to put this out there. It's not a theory. This is not what is Vadic truly dead? As we know, the original changelings, they could be in space and survive without any protective gear. However, she is modified. Yeah, exactly. In Deep Space Nine, right? We saw that, but these changelings have been modified, right, by technology. And we did see her freeze, as one would do, and kind of blow up. And they did blow up the Shrike. But do they have the ability to reconnect themselves? Maybe just slower, maybe just taking a little longer. Is she really?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, is she really gone just yet? I think getting rid of her in this episode, when there's still a changeling threat that she clearly is leading, with the help of her hand friend.
Yeah, she's not leading it. She's not
leading it, but she's the second in command. And that hand thing is speaking. She's speaking for that hand thing, that hand changeling. Okay. And now I wonder, if she is actually dead, does that mean the hand thing is dead?
Nope.
Oh, no. The big evil head is still out there.
Yeah. Her hand is just a mobile phone. That's what that was.
Yeah, you got to think about it.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what I like to think, Nita? I like to think, no, she wouldn't come back together. There'd just be thousands of little mini hers. Kind of like Army of Darkness when Ash gets into the little mini versions.
Yeah.
So we have
That's where we get the butt bugs from. He will become the butt bug.
Oh boy.
We got the butt bug origins.
I thought this was my favorite moment for sure was the epic death scene of not only the ship of the Shrike, but of Amanda Plummer's Vadic. But I was wondering if maybe that was a different changeling just putting on her face, and then the real one was actually Deanna Troi. But when they all got back together, it was like, no, that's it. They got rid of Vadic. But my con is, if you're gonna say, hey, the highest levels of Starfleet are infiltrated by changelings, and we got to figure it out. They managed to break protocol, and it can't be discovered. Well, there's no bad admirals running around, so you can say, hey, wait, yeah, he's the change. You know what I mean? There's nobody in charge as a secular threat to be like, okay, yeah, Picard, screw you. I'm Admiral John, and I've got the Enterprise F, and I'm going to blow up everybody. There's no... Now
you feel like there's no villain now.
Now there's no villain. There's no main villain.
I'm with you.
The big evil head.
Mm-hmm.
So the big evil head is something, but like, there's no setup to who it could be unless it's, it's nobody around the circle, and there's no hierarchy in Starfleet that was mentioned in the show for it to be. So it'll be a left
unless
field.
the big evil head is connected to Jack.
I see what you're saying. There's no real like interaction with any character that you could go back to and go, well, that was the villain all along.
Right.
Okay. Look, it's an interesting point for sure.
Yeah. So that's what I'm wondering.
Hey, can I raise one thing? No, what did everyone think about the data lore?
That was
inside the
that was my pro.
scene?
That was a huge pro for me. I love that because
Spot saved the day.
Yeah. This is my very last memory. And he hands him the cat, and then he's like, wait, what are you doing? I thought that was such great rope-a-dope.
This cat taught me how to love.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just like Battle Cat is teaching you how
to fight.
Battle Cat is teaching me pain and suffering. Plus, I think it's great if you've ever heard Brent Spiner speak at a convention. He hated working with that cat.
Really?
And so I think the fact that they brought the cat in one more time to make him work with a cat.
That's great.
Chef's kiss.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not the same cat.
Cats don't live.
How do you know?
That cats don't live that long, and if they
cats do not live that long.
Yeah. So, what, Jason?
No, Spot's still alive.
Oh my goodness, Space Spot. I always thought Spot was.
But hold on. I got one more thing to say. Did you guys notice they changed Spot's gender again?
Yes.
Spot started out as a male cat,
girl, then now a boy.
And now he's a boy again.
Oh wow.
Trans cats matter.
That's it, man. Who are you to, assume their pronouns?
Yeah. They, the cat. What was I going to say? Yeah. So let's go to the comments. We have a lot, and we have a lot of friendly comments. Yes, a lot of friendly faces that I'm super happy to see, like my buddy Claudia. Yeah. But it's all you, Nita.
That's right. Don't touch on my comments.
I'm not touching nothing. I'm giving you the moment. Don't make me regret it and kick you out of the room.
Claudia says, I love the team getting back together. That is so
again, thank you. We're happy to be back.
True. Yes.
Jesus.
And she also
That's
thinks
a Texan smile.
She also thinks Troy was really fun, and she was. I agree with her. The things Troy said was hilarious.
I was worried about her too, how that was going to be handled. Yeah. And I must say, it was beautifully written for her.
Yeah.
It was. Right. We have a new person here, Victor Romero, and this comment was posted when Jace was making his comment, and he says bold words, but I agree.
For the best Star Trek season.
Yeah, absolutely. And our friend Geek Filter says live action, maybe. That what Dex didn't have any clunkers.
I don't think this season has had any clunkers either.
No, it hasn't.
Yes. And then Devin says, I wish Rafi had more screen time this season.
Me too.
Yeah, they finally got her right, though. And that's
they really did.
They got her right, and we don't see enough of her. But maybe that's why it's working so well this season. They're bringing her in when she's absolutely needed, and she's getting to shine rather than being the focus.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And Geek Filter says, Imzadi, I should have taught you another word. That is the funniest moment in that scene of theirs.
Yeah.
And Victor also says, I hated how the episode ended. They keep teasing, and they do.
I don't think they can do it again. I really don't think they can do another cliffhanger again, because doing two in a row, I think that's, to be honest with you, the only flaw I could pick out is the fact you've gone for 2 weeks of consecutive cliffhangers. So.
We have a special guest.
So, yeah.
Go ahead, Nita.
We have some more comments. I was like, am I over? And I don't know.
No. There's a ton of comments, so you got to keep going. This is your moment.
Okay. Absolutely. And Claudia also is. Let's see. I lost my comment. I got so nervous. I apologize. Okay. So Greek Geek Filter says Vatic, so glad she's gone. She was the cartoon villain in an otherwise well-written show.
Now, I would definitely like to kind of talk about that because, yes, she is a cartoon villain and she's not original. She is a Khan type villain.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, however, it's the right villain for this season. I don't know if we really... I don't know. It just seems so well balanced that we had this kind of cartoonish villain because to me, the show's not really about the villain. In a way, it's not even really about the plot. It's around revisiting our characters and them getting together. If it was any other actor in that, I fear it would have just completely gone off the cliff.
Yeah.
But Amanda Plummer handled that with class. She brought complexity to the role. She brought body language to that probably wasn't written on the page.
Yeah,
she's a fantastic actress.
That moment where they're executing, and a lot of people died in this episode, and they're executing all the ensigns, all the lower deck people and such.
Yeah.
She's doing that thing where she's like pretending that like it's a symphony.
Yeah.
Like hearkening back to her torture that we all like discovered she went through. Man, there are cartoon elements to it, but that's more. Yeah. She brings more to it.
Absolutely. And Devin also feels, as we do, that the Jack subplot just feels dragged out. And I agree. It truly does feel like they're just trying to get it just as close to the end as they can possibly get it. And I think it's a little frustrating because when you do that, it leaves no room for exposition of the situation, Claudia also thinks that I miss Amanda Plummer chewing the scenery, but Vatic often didn't make scenes. Didn't make sense. Sorry.
It's okay.
Again, I think it's strength of the character.
Yeah.
She didn't always make sense because she was insane. Doesn't matter what species she comes from. That character's gone through some clearly
terrible torture.
Yeah. So she ain't thinking clearly.
Whatever's going on in her changeling brain is the equivalent of mental illness for sure.
Well, nothing's going on now because it's several different places.
Hey, can I just ask you? Yeah, can I ask you guys about the way they get rid of Vatic? Though we haven't talked about the moment of how they actually do it. Do we not love that? I mean, I really love that.
Yeah,
that was excellent.
Yeah, sealing Seven and Jack, and then sucking them out. Because I'd never seen that. It's the top part that came off, right?
Right. It's the top. Yeah. The view screen just went whoop, bye.
Yeah.
Whoop,
I enjoyed that scene because it seemed like Picard and Beverly and Jack were behind the 8 ball the entire time. There was no plan. They were completely at Vatic's mercy. But at that moment, you realize they had the plan the whole time. And I thought, that's Sean Wick and Beverly and Jack right there. That's my boy and my girl. I love it. Love it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Victor Romero says, I like that Worf has embraced humor. And I do
so
too.
Good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so good. I mean, I don't know that he understands he can laugh at his own jokes, but I like the fact that he's embracing that part of him.
I say, though, I don't know if he was hitting on Deanna. I thought he was more expressing his appreciation for the emotional education.
So too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was Riker who got petty jealousy and took it the wrong way.
Right.
Either that or Worf was getting even with Riker for the Tribble comment. This is Worf's revenge.
Oh, look at that.
I am finding humor in the discomfort of others.
Mind you, when we get the introduction of Worf breaking him out, I mean, that's a fist pump moment, right?
Yeah.
When he pulls the sword out and you see him, and I'm like, yes!
But awesome. Again, they did the same scene 3 times now.
They can do it a 4th time.
All right, I'm alone on that one.
I'm going to fist...
Now that should be the new Star Trek show. Worf stabs people in the back.
Welcome. Hey, I just said that guy.
Do not criticize the fighting scene of Worf. Okay, he will rescue you any way he has to, and if he's got to stab you in the back to do it, then he will. That's that. Okay?
Oh, I have no problem with it. No,
Yeah.
Daddy Worf is fine. No,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Sarah poses a very interesting question. Whatever they took from Picard's human body, his brain, where did it go?
Great question.
Great question.
Yeah, great question.
Brain. What is brain?
Yeah, because that's what they really wanted. The aromatic syndrome.
Yeah.
So then we got three main things that have to be solved in the next two episodes.
What's
the plan is for First Contact Day? Yeah. What's the deal with Jack? What happened to Picard's frontal lobe?
Right. So was Picard a Power Wraith this whole time? Is that what we're going to go with?
Imagine they did that.
Oh my God!
They could not bring in the Power Wraiths. They already
just wait, Sugar Bear. I got you.
Just wait, Sugar Bear.
We're leading up to it, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Into it.
And Devin says, does anyone else think of the song Paint It Black whenever they see the red door?
Perfect,
yes.
Devin.
It makes me think of The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
Makes me think of a film from the 70s called Behind the Green Door, but we won't talk about it.
Now, Claudia, I like your brain. But also she said that a piece of her in all
lives in all her
brothers and sisters. Maybe she will return. That's
Maybe
right.
I still want thousands of little mini Vatics.
Oh, Lord. Victor says, I think she's dead since they've seen the other changeling die via phaser blast and other conventional methods of unliving. Yeah, well,
it's 100% accurate. She's dead. We ain't seeing her again in this season. We're not seeing her ever again. It's over.
It's over.
Dead.
Oh, Sarah has a theory about the hand changeling. I think that hand is just the changeling communicator.
It's just running OS 17 or whatever. It's a mobile phone. That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we have so many comments and we truly do appreciate all of them, but I think we will be here and now to the next segment.
Yeah,
all right.
We continue.
So we're excited to bring you something new this week, correct?
Yes.
All right, and I won't spoil it because I know there's an intro for it. So please, by all means.
Well, I think I should at least announce. Do you want to announce the title? Would you like me to announce the title?
You can announce the title since you have the card.
This new segment is called Mr. Gaston and His Intergalactic Musings.
Oh my.
Oh, we haven't got the setup right. Never mind. I'm just going to remove you, Nita, for a sec because we've got to have there he is, and then we're going to add. No, that doesn't work. What are we going to do? We're going to remove everybody.
What have you done?
I've just got rid of everyone. It's just us running the stream now. Forget about it. Just go with it, Jason. I can't figure this out.
Okay, so yesterday was First Contact Day. All Star Trek fans knows all about First Contact Day, but apparently First Contact Day is a mystery to Paramount because they did absolutely nothing. Imagine if Star Wars had forgotten all about May the 4th. That's unheard of, isn't it? Oh no, but Paramount couldn't be bothered. I'm assuming somebody walked into the Paramount office and said, "Happy First Contact Day." And somebody sitting at their desk with a bag of Cheez-Its went, "Happy what?" "Happy First Contact Day. What do you have to show the audience today? Something amazing, something great, something to get them excited." And the guy's like, "Here are these posters I made on Photoshop last hour." "Perfect, let's do that." Paramount not doing anything for First Contact Day was stupid and insulting. Yes, they introduced the idea that they were going to do Starfleet Academy about a week ago. Why did they announce it a week ago? They should have done it today. They could have given us anything. They could have given us the smallest thing. They could have given us stills from the next season of Star Trek Strange New World, a still of Jack Quaid and Tawny Newsome as live-action Boimler and Mariner. They could have given us a mock-up of animated Pike. They could have given us the bare minimum, but they didn't even do that. And I think that is just, it's the butt bugs. The butt bugs didn't know what First Contact Day was. and we are all doomed. A butt bug apocalypse is on the way. And that was my intergalactic musing for this week.
Thank you, Jason. An excellent one to start with, because you raised an excellent point. What the hell were they doing? Not recognizing the biggest day of the year in Star Trek.
Yeah.
They did the same thing for the 50th anniversary. The same thing being nothing. It's I don't know. It's almost like a lack of care.
It's First Contact Day. You ready? This is what we got.
But they announced, not only did they announce Starfleet Academy of the week, wasn't a few days prior to that they also announced officially Star Trek Strange New World Season 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like they just blew their wad early.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They were not a good day.
And they announced Prodigy's coming out too.
Yeah. So
they would like, sell them all now. Forget First Contact Day.
They did less than the bare minimum. And like I said, one announcement, anything would have been great. We would have been like, not too much news this year, but hey, you can't have a big year every year. But this year they were just like, we ain't got nothing.
I tell you what, and I'm going to get probably shot down for this. This doesn't happen in the Star Wars fandom.
No, it does not. And you know what?
It does not.
Oh,
and you know what? I'm sorry. Here lately, Star Trek has been so much stronger than Star Wars. This is inexcusable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It has been. It has been. And my neighbors talking about it was like, "Oh, hey, you watch Star Trek? You should then watch my show." And now I have a cue card with the QR thing. I was like, "Scan it. You can download it right away."
It's. I don't know what else to say about it except it's shockingly disrespectful to the franchise and the community.
The franchise that's keeping Paramount Plus afloat right now.
Yeah,
exactly.
We pay for that, stuff. Right?
Yeah. I mean, they should have done something because it's always, the anniversaries are always a big deal and big things happen. And they really, really, really did a horrible job. It was just super boring to watch. And they should have done something they didn't even put a commercial announcement saying happy Star Trek's First Contact Day. Nothing. They didn't put anything out. And I think that's just not acknowledging a fandom that has been around for 55 years and not acknowledging the importance of that fandom to your business.
Yep.
Well, what's strange is 2 years ago in 2021, if you look it up on the internet, because I got mistaken the other day when I was looking this up, in 2021, they had a full day of panels, announcement, live streams, everything. It was like watching Comic-Con streaming. It was chock-a-block from morning to night. And then less than 2 years later, when your franchise is at its arguably strongest, healthiest position it has been in decades, and you do nothing. Any comments about it? I'd love to.
Yeah, Geek Filter put up a great one.
Yeah, absolutely. Geek Filter has a few comments on it. I'm going to start with this comment. It says September 8th is the biggest day in Trek. First Contact was really embraced by the fans more than CBS has, and has been like since First Contact Day came out. Then we have Victor here says, I agree. Star Trek Day is the day to celebrate, and they do better. They better do something on that day. I hope so too. And Greek Filter says Disney is running it. That's the only reason they are on it. May the 4th equals yet more money. Yeah, it's true. Disney has an amazing budget for their advertisement, for their accessories, toys.
The Star Wars universe was doing that way before Disney owned it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they've always recognized their franchise. Yeah. They've been doing it for decades. That's the reality of it. It's just from a core for Star Trek Day being September 8th. If that's the biggest day technically, and yet you're saying the fans embraced it, then don't the fans probably dictate the terms of the days they're going to celebrate?
Yeah.
Now,
and it doesn't excuse them doing nothing either, because you could have said, Happy First Contact Day, don't forget September 8th, Star Trek Day, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. Claudia makes a very good point. Claudia says it's like feeling so confident in a relationship you forget to have an anniversary dinner. And that's true.
Happened with me and my wife.
That is true. They're taking the audience too much for granted. And that is absolutely true. They know that Trek fans have been here and we don't leave. When fans of fandoms, especially sci-fi fandoms, get a hook of liking something, we don't just like it. We need to know the history of it. We need to have the toys, and we need to have, the costumes and the cosplays. And we go all in.
Yep. And a big announcement did come out today, which is not First Contact, but Corgi has now got the license to do the ships, the ship models.
Yes, finally.
Right.
I want a Titan A.
Yeah, and that's Terry Metalis has said, "Oh, let me introduce you to the Titan A."
The thing is,
that's good news. But again, what
why didn't put that on First Contact?
Yeah. That's right. He could have.
They could have made that the announcement. Oh, sweet! So
it's definitely not criticism of Star Trek. We love Star Trek. It's not even
absolutely. It's the marketing. We're criticizing the marketing
department.
They need to do better with their, with their toys. They need to do better. They had opportunities and they let it go. They need to do more movies. They need to do more series. They need to do better with their advertisement. They need a better advertisement team. And I think that's
part of the problem is there's nothing filmed yet for Section 31 and or Starfleet
Section 31 is just a rumor still, Joe.
Yeah, you think so?
It doesn't exist until they officially announce it. And
I know, but I'm saying, I don't think they have anything ready for any.
No, but as Jason said, they absolutely would have had animation cells from Lower Decks available.
Yep.
They definitely would have had live action. And they could have done a bunch of preview photos from Strange New World Season 2.
Well, they do have
that stuff.
They have headshots out. They did put a headshot series out of all the characters. They had Pike.
They had the Photoshop jobs, but put some set photos out. Put some screenshots of upcoming
that would have been better.
Now, this comment is very interesting, and I've always thought this as well. From Victor Romero, he says they need to.
Yeah, I would like one of those.
Yeah,
damn straight. I think we all want one of them.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the comment. He is typing up a comment so quickly. Thank you. They need to hire fan consultants, and they do.
Paramount, I'm available.
Same.
Yep.
Yes.
The whole Captains Quadrant. We're ready to.
I'm available.
You don't want me. I'll only want blue M&Ms. I'll turn up late to the writing room. And I have IBS. You don't want that in the room.
What?
IBS.
Oh, totally.
Brown.
I know what it is.
I
did not expect to hear that.
Yeah, it's the butt bugs.
It's the butt bugs. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's also your dog giving me the shits as well.
Oh, nice. Nice circle. Nice circle. You got to be careful because he's not too far away.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried what he's going to do. He's going to start hacking in my computer.
He's secretly using Joe's wife's phone to watch, so that he can come back and get you, Jace. Be careful with him.
All right, so we are going to now hop into 10 Forward, if I'm not mistaken.
This is terrible. I like it.
This is more of a comment section, I'd say, guys. Any more comments going in there? We kind of after Jason's thing, we just kind of went straight into 10 Forward.
No, we are up to date with our comments. But
another one.
All right. Somebody said we got nothing to talk about here.
Yeah, like, Sarah Andrews.
No.
Yeah, Sarah Andrews says maybe they're being overly cautious after the fiasco with the 3 Kelvin movie announcements.
That was the 4th Kelvin movie.
But
you know what? It had been announced a few times, so she's probably right.
They've
been announced. It has been.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be made first, Section 31 or the 4th Kelvin movie?
Section 31.
Yeah. Here's what I think we'd heard rumors straight after the Oscars that Star Trek were in touch with Michelle Yeoh and all that. I'm saying contract negotiations haven't been finalised. Her agents are going back and going, whoa. You want an Oscar-winning actress to do this show for this amount? I think we need to renegotiate.
That's why they
could just see Michelle Yeoh
up before she went to the Oscars. If an actor is even a rumor to get to be nominated, you grab them before because they will be cheaper. And once that contract is locked in,
I could just see Michelle Yeoh sitting there across from somebody from Paramount negotiating, and they say, "Well, our paper here says that we're going to pay you this much per episode," and she pulls out her Oscar and says, "Well, my friend here says you're going to pay me this much per episode."
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And she's worth it. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, here's the other thing too: is you've got to sign her up for a multi-year contract.
Yeah.
Which is going to limit her ability to do other films because she's going to have all the best directors throwing roles at her. So what she has to decide is she willing to give that up to play, in the Star Trek universe. It's a big decision for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to put into this 10 forward a very vicious thing that's been going on the internet, and that's these really well done photoshops of some of our favorite actors in Star Trek. There's a rumor that they're going to reboot Star Trek: The Next Generation in like a Kelvin timeline, and somebody did a really good Photoshop. I thought it was fantastic.
Like an AI kind of thing.
Like an AI type of thing, exactly.
I saw that.
Can I
just say personally?
Your guy, he's Aussie, right?
I don't know.
Thor, the guy who plays Thor, Chris Helmsworth.
I keep telling you, there's 25 million of us. We don't know each other.
Chris Elmhurst is Australian.
Yeah, he is, right? Yeah.
Talented person.
Very
He's
talented.
the kind of Australian that makes me want to move to Australia.
Yeah.
I don't? And what's to do? I don't.
What about Rick?
I keep sharing photos of the wonderful wildlife we have.
You can have it.
Seriously, though, there will never be a reboot of The Next Generation. Ever.
Oh,
Period.
dear God, no.
Forget about it. It's fan fiction. Never going to happen. It would be disastrous of Paramount to even think about it.
That would not be the way to go. They need to start developing new Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next generation to come.
But but just don't get caught up in all of the fake AI.
Yeah, they can reference.
It's fun to look at though.
Yeah.
And that's the cool part.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that because I think there's a few people on the internet that really buy into that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really believe it. It's just like, I don't want to break your heart. But what would you want, though? Would you want them to reboot The Next Generation, or would you want them to come up with new stories?
New stories.
I think the best thing they could do, hear me out, right? Do a Starfleet Academy, get them through Starfleet Academy, and then the characters that are most successful and most popular
and don't die,
get a series. They get on a ship and you see the development of, ensign to, lieutenant. And
good idea. It's a good idea. Can I say, though, right now, a week or two after Starfleet Academy, I feel like Starfleet Academy to me is like eating a hot dog from a really bad, service station or something. Like the aftertaste is getting worse and worse. It tasted all right inside there, but now I'm very worried about Starfleet Academy.
Really?
Even
though our buddy Michael Chen might have an opportunity to be on.
Great. Good. Yeah. I want him to see him make money. It's not about that. It's about the viability of the concept and whether it's something that they're going to be spending tens of millions of dollars on. Yeah. When, I feel like now the Starfleet's being made purely out of fan pressure because Starfleet Academy's been around in video game form and book form for so long. I almost feel like Paramount's like, well, we got to do it because everyone's been asking for it. But ask yourself this: we wanted a Boba Fett series. How did that work out?
You mean Mandalorian 3.5?
Well,
right?
We wanted to see an Obi-Wan series. How did that turn out?
I like the Obi-Wan series.
You don't always give the fans what they want.
Yeah,
I liked it too, but it's divisive. It's divisive. But the point is like, you don't always give the fans what they want.
Yeah.
Surprise the fans, shock the fans.
I'm with Jace. I'm not sure that setting Starfleet Academy in that timeline so far in the future is really the way to go, because also it's going to be more expensive.
Because it doesn't have to look the same. You don't have to do all that.
It is the only bold choice they made with that idea, is to actually put in the
that was a bold. But they had to also think about the community that was upset when they canceled Discovery. They want to make sure
that's true. Maybe they're going to use some of the characters.
Right. He was like, we're sorry, but hey, look, we got Tilly, because I'm sure she's going to be the main person in the show.
I'm not sad about that.
Yeah. Hey. So I think that was actually a smart move by Paramount to go, hey, don't worry, it's 20. You guys are covered. Look,
listen, I'm not sad about Tilly being in it. I think it's fantastic. She's as close to plus size representation.
You don't think it's Tilly? Why?
I think it's.
I think it's Saru.
Oh, that works for me too, because he's going to be the Dean. Jones.
He's going to be the Dean, going, those darn kids have toilet paped my office again. Here we have to deal with things.
My office again.
Yeah, you kids. Yeah.
All right.
So. That's what I'm worried though. Does it turn into that? This bunch of kids, and we've got we've got all the basic stereotypes from every other teen show that we've ever seen, but they're just wearing Star Trek uniforms.
No.
Tony
Newsom said no. Tony Newsom went online and said, no. Have you noticed how I write? That's not going to happen, because she's one of the main writers for.
She's one of the main writers, yeah. Right? Well, that gives me a lot of confidence, because she's brilliant.
And somebody asked her straight out of the bat, like several people on Twitter said, "Hey, we don't want a CW teen drama," and she's like, "No. I have not. Have you ever seen any of the things I'm in?" Or anything I've ever written, it's not a CW series.
It was concerning because one of the showrunners was the head writer on Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
The CW Nancy Drew. So you do go, well, is that the level of what we're playing?
No.
Are we
but that doesn't mean that writer doesn't know how to write sci-fi. And maybe that was just a job that paid the bills for a little while.
Here's the other issue with Starfleet Academy. In essence, is it not repeating themes of what we're already getting in Prodigy? Young people who don't know how to get through situations, being put in situations they have to figure their way out of.
Yeah, in a way. It
is kind of treading on the same territory, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless it's those characters in there.
There was a Starfleet Academy comic book series back in the late 90s and early 2000s that was really good.
Okay.
And if they take inspiration from anything, I hope it's that. Well, this was a 23rd century set series, so you had Nog was one of the main characters. You also had a descendant of Decker from the motion picture. He was like Starfleet royalty. You had a Vulcan, and you had a Andorian, and then you had a couple of other characters. But they went through this huge long arc, which, spoilers for a 25-year-old comic book, they went through this huge arc where the Vulcan looked like she was like not all there. And then it turned out that she was a Romulan who a Vulcan had put her Katra into. And they went through, Decker got into Red Squad at one point, and Nog had to deal with basically racism on Earth. And I thought that they did a really good job with this series. So I think that there is precedent for an engaging series set at Starfleet Academy. Now, I will say that this has been an idea that's been bounced around literally since 1990.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And I've never been a gigantic fan of the idea, but I'm willing to give it a chance.
Oh yeah, we'll all give it a chance.
We are all going to absolutely give it a chance.
I'm just fearful. That's what I am.
Yeah.
Fearful.
Well,
I shouldn't be, because what they've currently been delivering us, I think I've come the back of now 4 seasons of independent Star Trek. And they've all been brilliant, from Star Trek Strange New Worlds to Lower Deck season to the Prodigy season we had to this show. They're really, the last 12 months, they have been kicking ass.
Yeah.
Well, I think that Terry Matalas really understands Star Trek. I think that when you create a sci-fi, okay, you have to understand science fiction, how science fiction works, and you have to know how to deliver that. And I think that he knows how science fiction works, how it can be developed. I think he has a great writer.
Yeah, he's a really good writer, and he's invested.
It's just like many Star Trek nerds that we know on this show and related to the community, except he's also a head writer. So not only does he have the great ideas like we do, he has the ability and the opportunity to make himself play it out. So
well said.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop into our fun game.
Oh, should we go to a commercial break? We haven't had a commercial break.
Let's do a commercial break. Yeah. Let me
Hey, do you guys have any Star Trek 5 tapes left?
Where is the Star Trek 5 video?
You got Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier?
Please. Any Star Trek 5s?
Ooh, thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Fabulous.
Yes. Oh, thank goodness.
Would you happen to have Star Trek 5?
Yes, sir.
Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier? So tell your dealer you want to see it.
Wow.
How many
disappointed
people?
Tell your dealer that you want to see it.
How many disappointed people were they when they were handing the movie back? And they were returning. Like,
this is shit,
take that one. Yeah, he was forceful there. Yeah, go to your dealer and get some meth while you're at it as well.
Meth, space meth.
All right, it's time. It's time for the segment. We got to get into this. We've been running long tonight.
Yeah.
It's time for Name That Trek-isode. The hell is it?
Here we are.
Oh, hold on. Before you started, I have to tell the audience who's with me.
Yes.
Okay. So, Victor Romero, you're with me, my Latino hermano. And Claudia is with Jason.
Oh, Claudia's going to win.
Jason. And Leticia is with Joe. You know, I had people who won under me too. Just so you know.
Yeah, but they know who to go to win.
All right. As
it's not me.
As per tradition, these Name the episodes are from Next Generation only because we're paying homage to Picard. Yes. So there's your tip, guys. So if we're ready, let's get the countdown started. And of course, remember, what are you going to yell out when you know the answer?
Oi!
Oi!
Good work. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's do it. I really need to get some music going in the background.
Yeah, music would be good.
Dance to, perhaps. I don't know.
It's Data.
Yeah, definitely it's Data. And he's...
Oi! Oh, I remember that one.
Joe just yelled that out.
That's the one where they find Data's head in a mind. They go back in time.
I'm really after the episode title here.
Yeah. I don't remember the title, but I
remember. Oi, the episode title, Jason.
Oi.
Yes.
Times Arrow Part 1.
That's it. Bingo. Yeah. Damn it. So yes, the title always trumps the description. So
right. But I was right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Claudia is our winner. Hey, Claudia,
is the winner. Bonus point though, Jason. Bonus point. Can you tell me this? Sorry. Can you tell me the season and the episode number?
Well, that would have been season 5, episode 24.
Oh, that was
26.
close.
Jeez.
That was
26.
Yeah, 26. Wow, they did a lot.
Yeah,
they did a lot of episodes back then.
I don't remember them. I always thought it was 22 and then it was done. 26. That's crazy.
So Claudia won, and Joe, what
Claudia
does Claudia need to do?
Claudia already has my contact information. Claudia, just send me a message with your address. You have all of my socials. Shoot old Captain Joe Dove a message, and we'll work out with you. Hopefully, you have an iPhone 14. That'd be great.
That was another episode of Name That Trek-isode.
I saw Neelix making something in there. That's fun.
All right, now we're gonna go on to our next segment.
Wrong franchise, buddy.
Yeah, wrong franchise. Red Dwarf, awesome show. Here we go. Ready?
It is. Yes.
It's time for stupid Star Trek questions. Thanks, everyone, for sending in these questions. We've had a great response recently, so keep them up. It's been amazing. We've got a couple for this week. The first one being, and I think it's a great question, from our friend Admiral Funniest Frontier. What is self-sealing stem bolts used for? Just
there to keep the butt bugs out.
I know.
For some reason, I did not expect.
Nina, what are they used for?
Listen, self-healing stem bolts, right? A bolt holds something together, puts two things that are separate and puts it together. This one, you don't have to seal with any like coagulant or any kind of sealing. You don't have to add anything because when you put the stem bolt between those two things, it's going to seal it together like a panel on a ship. Or
so basically, there could be a guy out, in a spacesuit on the starship with a ratchet gun.
I always thought it was like a conduit tool to like, instead of having to actually make any noise or do anything, you just drop it and then it gets on the stem and then seals the stem bolt.
I thought maybe it's using the replicator to separate the poop particles.
But you see,
I like that answer.
First of all, I think it's recycled. Second of all, I think though you can use stem bolts on planets for like building houses because in Deep Space Nine, when Nog and Jake were young and had the stem bolts that they were trying to get rid of for some latinum, they sold it to some Bajorans.
Yeah.
Right? They were trying. So I'm thinking, well, maybe this Bajoran can build something in his house with some stem bolts.
Imagine if it's just like a simple Ferengi like scheme tool and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I can see like Quark.
Either way, it's the smartest answer we've gotten. So let's move on to the next question. And our second question for this week is from Tribble Hubble. Did Vulcans do something to offend Bolians at some point? I can't believe every Vulcan sits down and says, "Give me the Mo Howard."
No, from the
that's a next generation thing. That because
they disappeared
in Star Trek the original series, it was Spock who had that haircut. Dad had something similar to what had, but Spock's future wife. She had, a hairdo.
Yeah, she had a full do. Yeah,
she had a full do. But then we see them in Next Generation and they're all wearing the same hairstyle. Why?
All held up with stem bolts.
All that hair.
I don't care if you're Vulcan and all logical. There's a lot more flattering haircuts than that. That's not. No.
Well, that's the only other answer we got. Well, that was our stupid Star Trek question.
Jason,
for the week.
From Texas, you don't have an answer?
He doesn't have...
I just said it's to keep the butt bugs out.
Oh, okay, that was it. Okay.
One more comment, and I'm with you 100%.
Heck yeah, I want to see those.
I want to see a curly hair Latino Vulcan.
All right.
Because but Krim was bald. Krim is a Latino, but he's bald. So.
By the way, I was upset they killed the hot bald Vulcan this week.
Somebody else.
I was really attracted to her. She was gorgeous in my mind.
Yeah.
I'd sit there and just massage. We could both massage our bald scalps together.
So bald is your thing.
So wait, would that be a new type of Vulcan mind melding?
What was that?
Is that going to be a new type of Vulcan mind melding?
Yeah, they just put the hand there.
Put
the two bald heads together and then you make an ass of both yourselves.
Yes.
There you go. Anyway, that's it for Stupid Star Trek questions. Thanks, guys. Keep sending in these Stupid Star Trek questions because we're the people that'll give you the completely wrong answers. So we're the guys to come to.
Join us next week for more Stupid Star Trek questions.
That was fantastic. And this is going to wrap it up for one of our longer episodes of the Captain's Quadrant. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Be sure to go and check out our merch store. And that's where you're going to see some of the future things that you may win. But you can also just buy it. You can skip the whole time and purchase it and help support our channel. We greatly appreciate it. It also has a lot of the other things that are on this show, this channel. You really want to check out Looking Forward, Off the Shelf. And these two guys have two amazing shows. I got to figure out how to do this pointing thing. But the two Jasons, we will be doing the Agony Booth when Picard goes off the air. So
that's right. Our third season of the Agony Booth will return with an extra bonus thing for it this time.
Yes.
We weren't not going to let it out
bonus
just yet.
Thing.
But there's a twist to this season coming up.
So season 3 is going to be the strongest. It's growing the beard this season.
Yeah.
So,
we'd love to have you on, by the way, Geek Filter. We'd love to have you on. So.
Yeah, Geek Filter, definitely.
Thanks, Victor. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, Victor.
Before we leave, I know we did not do future speculations, but I have to give my future speculation because I think I've gotten everything figured out.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and I'm being serious.
Oh, okay.
I'm being serious. There's no butt bugs or anything like that. So last week, I mentioned the idea that I think Jack may have a paw wraith inside of him.
Right.
And that's where he's getting all these weird, freaky powers. And the more I thought about it, the more it makes sense because he's controlling people with his mind and everything. I think he was doing the same thing with Vatic. And he's the one who was communicating with her unknowingly. The paw wraith in him is the big evil head. Think about how he was communicating with her. He was controlling a part of her.
Yeah. And Deanna did say that she sensed a darkness.
Yes.
Yeah.
A darkness around
her.
I think I have everything figured out now. I think that the changelings are trying to get something out of Picard to control the paw wraith. But the paw wraith wants the changelings to get him into the wormhole. Frontier Day is a distraction. The wormhole is where the paw wraith wants to be. Because what's in the wormhole that the paw wraith wants besides all the prophets dead? What's in the wormhole that the changelings want?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's an entire fleet of Dominion ships in the wormhole.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, remember Cisco was like, "No, guys, I need you to handle this," and they were like, "All right, fine."
So,
and they, oh man,
Cisco.
So the changelings' plan is to take something out of Picard's body to control the paw wraith so that they can get the ships out and wipe out what's left of the Alpha Quadrant. Because really think about it. If they hit Frontier Day with all the fleet, they've decimated the Federation. The Romulans have been decimated. All they will have in their way is the Klingons. Ooh. So all the work's been done for them. There we go. I figured it out.
Ends in a real dark note, and they just get wiped out.
And we'll be all sitting there like,
what happened?
You know,
we will have to get
on. The last one.
We would have to get on a call and cry to one another and support one another. You need to get an
Data's left on a decimated Earth with a cat petting it, going, "Wow, that was quite the burn."
Quite the burn. Very nice. Love that.
If that happens, Jace, you're going to have to find us a virtual Australian therapist because we're all going to need a group session.
We have plenty of therapy here. It's called beer.
Oh, we have a great therapy. It's called the Captains Quadrant. We'll just talk about it here on the show. Like, come on. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please be sure you subscribe. We really would appreciate it. Give us a like. These things help us grow and they help us reach a wider audience.
Please do.
We're growing steadily and we appreciate each and every one of you. So be sure to join us next week and win more prizes. And I'm going to sign off. For all of us here at the Captains Quadrant, live long and prosper.
Well, I will leave you with this image.